Yo, it's me Aksara back again with a new setup, new monitor, and that's what we're going to be talking about. If you're looking for a pretty decent gaming monitor under $250 or like 230 euros, the Lenovo Legion 27Q-10 1440p gaming monitor, it might be the best option for you. Let's get into unboxing and see what's inside. First up is the energy rating label. Nothing exciting, but good to have for reference. Next is the factory color calibration report, which is actually nice to see on a monitor in this price range. Then you've got the warranty information and the user manual. Pretty standard stuff, but definitely keep those just in case. We've got the power cable, the monitor stand base, DisplayPort cable, and finally, the monitor arm itself. Inside the monitor arm packaging, you'll also find these 4 thumb screws. Setting up the monitor is super simple. Attach the monitor arm to the back of the display using the 4 included thumb screws. Once that's secured, connect the arm to the stand base and you're done. This is the Lenovo Legion 27Q-10. On the back of the monitor, starting from the left, you've got the Kensington lock slot and the power input. Moving to the right, you get 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, a DisplayPort 1.4 and the audio out. On the front, you've got the power button and the physical menu buttons. Worry not, if you're not a button person, you can control all the monitor settings using Lenovo Artery. It makes adjusting everything a lot easier. Now that's the front controls. Let's look how flexible the stand is. You can move it up and down to get the height just right. You can tilt the screen forward and backward to dial in a comfortable viewing angle. And if you want, you can rotate the monitor into a vertical orientation for things like coding or reading. This is the first boot of the Lenovo Legion 27Q-10. I'm connecting it to my Lenovo Legion 5 Pro. Since my laptop doesn't have a native DisplayPort, I'm using Ugreen USB-C to DisplayPort cable to get the maximum output from the monitor. I'll leave the link in the bio. I'm not using HDMI for this display because unless it's a HDMI 2.1 cable, you won't be able to get the full 240Hz. I'll be using the regular HDMI 2.0 for my secondary monitor. This way, I get the full 240Hz on my new monitor and I'm perfectly happy running 144Hz over HDMI on the second one. Since it's just secondary display, I wouldn't be doing much on it. My secondary display here is the Lenovo Legion Y27qf-30 Pro. I'm running this over HDMI at 144Hz and it works perfectly as a second screen. I know it's a bit of overkill for a secondary display, but it is what it is. I mainly use it for things like Discord, browser tabs, website development, monitoring, or background tasks, so 144Hz is more than enough for that. Keeping this as a secondary display also lets me dedicate the full 240Hz to my main monitor, which is where I actually game. And if you want a proper comparison between these two 2K 240Hz gaming monitors, do let me know in the comments below. Let's test it out now and see how this monitor actually performs. To start things off, the classic UFO test. Straight away, motion looks really clean. At 240Hz, everything feels smooth with no obvious smearing or distracting artifacts. This is usually where you can tell if a panel struggles, and here it looks solid. Moving into the FPS style motion, quick mouse movements and flicks feel very responsive, Tracking targets feels natural, and there's no noticeable blur during fast turns or sudden movements. In real world gaming, this is where the monitor really shines. Gameplay feels fluid, motion clarity is excellent, and once you spend some time at 240Hz, it's honestly hard to go back to anything lower. Everything just feels smoother and more responsive overall. Text clarity is also very good. At 27 inches and 1440p, the text looks sharp and comfortable to read. Whether it's browsing, working, or general use, there are no issues here. Input feels immediate with no noticeable delays, which is exactly what you want, especially for competitive games. Overall, performance-wise, this monitor delivers exactly what you'd expect from a 1440p 240Hz panel, which is smooth motion, fast response, and a great gaming experience. So, after using the Lenovo Legion 27Q-10 day to day, it's clear who this monitor is for. If you like smooth gameplay, fast response, a high refresh rate, then this monitor is likely for you, and it makes a lot of sense. I've been using it for over 2 months now. It's been reliable, easy to live with, and does exactly what I need to do for gaming without overcomplicating things. And not to forget, the colors are amazing right out of the box, so you don't have to mess around with anything. So it's a perfect monitor for someone who doesn't want to calibrate or mess around things. If you've got questions, drop them in the comments, and if you want me to compare this directly with my Lenovo Legion Y27qf-30 Pro, do let me know, and I'm happy to do that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.